unless otherwise required for later. Once again, good evening, and I welcome each of you to our PR training for tonight. And I'm sure that this is a very interesting training, and everyone is looking forward to it because, of course, our PR team has been doing so great with all our promotional materials. And it has been, I think, we have been waiting for this training to come along, and finally, it is here. So, as we all know, public relations is very important. For me, if I may share a little bit, this is my first ever XCOM role when I first became a member of Philcom Toastmasters Club. And at first, I was very challenged. And little did I know that I will fall in love with what we have been doing in public relations. We have 3 sessions for tonight, and we would also have a question and answer portion, which we can cater to all your questions, which wouldn't be discussed. Okay? So to officially give us a message, a welcome remarks for our training for tonight is no other than the dedicated, untiring District 116 Program Quality Director, distinguished Toastmaster Manzoor Moideen. Let's give him a round of applause, please.
Thank you, Diana. Thank you so much. District Public Relations Manager, Distinguished Toastmaster, Grace Moran. Division B Director, Distinguished Toastmaster, Rihanna Pinto. Trainers for the day, Kajitan, Grace, Bindu Pillai, Q&A host, Rojas, and everyone who is part of this event. A very good evening to all of you. There's one gentleman who has just joined, Distinguished Toastmaster Christopher Almeida. Can someone tell me what's so special about him? Grace, having known him for some time.
And ambassador.
Ambassador, yes. He's not just a branding expert, but he's also an ambassador to ensure that the brands are maintained, the branding is followed in everything that he does. Well, I've been actually going through the promotions by our district PR and everyone involved on this event. I was glad to see that, even this event on public relations has been promoted so well, taking care of everything in detail, flyers, pictures, words, letters, color code, fonts, and whatnot. Now, public relations is not just about branding. Of course, it's about promoting our brand. It's been done so well this term, like in the previous years, thanks to Grace. Now, I see that, there are few people, I know Bindu Pillai, Christopher, Grace, and few others, who are always in lookout for not for fault, but to correct others. In a very diplomatic way, sir, you've gone wrong in so and so branding. You are rather, breaking the branding guidelines. So please ensure that we follow what is required and what has been suggested by TI. I thoroughly enjoy watching all those deliberations and discussions and your willingness to help our District 116 to maintain our brand, the Toastmasters International, where leaders are made. I congratulate the District PR and everyone involved in this workshop, and I thank everyone for joining, and hereby I declare this workshop open. Congratulations once again. Over to you, Diana.
Thank you very much, PQD Manzoor. And I love that PQD Manzoor already congratulated everyone. So we're claiming the success of tonight's workshop, and I'm sure that it will be a very rewarding, informative, and fantastic workshop that we will have. So tonight, I would like to turn over the floor for our first session. We will be having the PR and Toastmasters International branding. So it's not only important that we are doing all our promotional materials to be very pleasing to the eyes, but what matters most is, of course, that we're doing it in the right way. So to give us our first part for the PR and TI branding, I would like to introduce to you our District 116 PR manager. She is one of the lady Toastmasters that I look up to. And currently, she is a member of 4 clubs and has been in Toastmasters for 4.5 years. From Qatar, before she moved to Doha, to Europe, then Asia, and then now she has returned to Doha. Yet one thing has always been constant, and that is her unparalleled passion for Toastmasters. She might seem to be the district's Iron Lady, of course. She definitely is, but unbeknownst to everyone, she is very talented in Latin dancing. She is also a loving mother and a caring wife. Join me in welcoming our district PR manager, distinguished Toastmasters, Grace Moran Billington.
Thank you so much, Diana, for such a generous introduction. Thank you. I want to start by thanking all of you for joining us and taking time out of your busy schedule to attend this training. We value your time, so make sure it's well spent. I'd like to acknowledge as well members of District 97. The district director is here as well, Venus Tenen, PKD Linda Cagayan as well, and some members of District 97. So we welcome you to District 116 Public Relations and TI Branding Training. The purpose for his training is to give you the tools you need to succeed as VPPR, Vice President Public Relations and Division Public Relations Manager. Today, I'll be sharing with you what I've learned from TI. I know that this is an important and complex responsibility, so I want to make sure that you feel supported. This is important because it enables us to create greater awareness of the organization, and it assists you in achieving the mission of the district. This session is being recorded, so you can go back and look at the slides and listen to the audio again at your convenience. So let's start with the district mission. Slide, please. Zoom master. Can we have the slide for our district mission? Yeah. The district mission is to build new clubs and support all clubs in achieving excellence. A district has many objectives that relate to achieving the mission. One of those objectives is to build membership and increase awareness of Toastmasters International and its program within the district. The district leadership defines your role as follows. As VPPR, you're responsible for coordinating publicity by establishing and maintaining lines of communication between the district and its members, as well as the district and the public. You work to increase awareness and post message to all available. Next, please. Today, I'm going to share different aspects of VPPR, Vice President Public Relations goals, roles, and responsibilities, along with some resources, as well as actions we should be taking for effective public relations. So over the next hour, we'll review your role, but first, what is public relations? Public relations is a strategic communication process that builds mutually beneficial relationship between organizations and the public. A good public relations, PR, is the practice of creating, promoting, and maintaining a favorable image of an institution among its various audiences through the use of a variety of communication channels and tools. Next, please. Our goal as a public relations manager, PRM, or Vice President Public Relations, VPPR, your responsibility is to generate positive awareness of the Toastmasters brand for the purpose of attracting and retaining members. It requires keeping the public external audience and members internal audience informed about club or district activities through effective communication channels and media relations. Good public relations will build membership, gain public recognition, and enhance perception. Next slide, please. Does anyone out there have any thought as to what the role of the VPPR or Division PRM is? Zoom Master, can you please unmute them? What is the role of the VPPR or the PRM? Anyone?
To promote the club activities in audience.
Grace, you're mute.
Okay, sorry. I said anyone would like to speak up and no one else, then I shall continue. You are the voice of the club. You are in charge of the club communication with the public and members. Manage the club's online presence, you Facebook, Instagram, website, YouTube, just to name a few. Publicize events, all your club events, open house, anniversary club success, collaboration, or confluence if you like. Collaborate with your club leaders, share your ideas or PR strategies with your ExCom. More heads is better than one. Develop a PR plan, strategize, create campaigns, get your members engaged. Next slide, please. Does your club currently have social media? What pages and groups do you have? Raise your hand if your club doesn't have at least a Facebook account. Really, Manzoor? I'm talking about the club, not personnel. I'm hoping that all the clubs must have the Facebook account. I suggest then that you create a Facebook page and a Facebook group at least. And to those clubs with social media account, complete a quick audit of your social pages. Make sure your communication of those social media are kept up to date, like your email, your venue, location, meeting timings, so that members know how to contact you, where to find you, and when you will meet. This is very important. One more important thing is to stay consistent and compliant with the brand, which I will talk more about that later. Next slide, please. Understanding social media for effective strategy is important. Given the growing penetration and usage of social media these days, the platforms where we can find most of the target audience would be a good place to start our marketing efforts. Based on the latest statistics show that Facebook continues to reign strong as the king of social media as of April 2020. Not only is it the social media platform with the most active users, but at 58 minutes per day, it is also the platform on which users spend the most time. Second is YouTube. Third and fourth is WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger. Then the WeChat, Instagram, and TikTok. I'm sure everyone knows TikTok now. I would like to share with you an overview of social media strategy, and credits to Robert van der Meer. With social media such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, you can reach Toastmasters around the globe instantly and personally. Having a presence on social media is crucial for public relations purposes. It allows you to receive and distribute news and information to people. Creating and managing a presence in social media is crucial. A club must at least have one social media account to talk about what you're doing, what is happening in your club, and what are your plans. You are the person who could make your club realize the potential of this medium. Because social media are so popular, they are an efficient means of creating and managing a presence online. Additionally, your efforts will be multiplied. Toastmasters members will be able to use the presence you create to share their experiences as Toastmasters members with their social networks. This means that your club members will have an official platform for their testimonials and somewhere to refer on people if they want more information. By leveraging your members, the club's social media presence can be greatly increased. You should use the media that work best for your club and explore the possibilities that are given in the manual. Your club's presence on social network sites will offer your members a platform for discussion and prospective members valuable insight into your club. This information will encourage them to attend a meeting and hopefully become a member. We have to create a presence on social media that is consistent with the visual identity of Toastmasters International. This means that prospective members will get the impression that your club is a part of Toastmasters International, the world of leader in communication and leadership development, and I'm sure you would agree. Please ensure that your club is not only consistent with the brand identity of Toastmasters International, but is also a part of your district. I know that some members only want to support the club and can't be bothered with the district. Please understand that everything that we post as district public relations manager in our social media is what's happening within the district, your club, your area, and the vision. Hence, you are part of it too. By supporting the district's social media, your club benefits from it somehow. When the district became the #1 district in the world, like District 116, you're part of it too. As Jen Maxwell said, teamwork makes the dream work. If we work together, all VPPRs and PRMs, it will yield better result for the district. Next page, please. Creating and managing social media channels. Creating a channel, for example, Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, on a social network site is the first step towards establishing your club's social media presence. And properly created social media channel can be used to let the world know about your club and why prospective members should join. Sharing what's happening in your club on social media is an effective means to show your club to the public. And here's some media's do's. Social media do's: prompt discussion for maximum engagement, answer questions and respond to feedback, provide helpful links, keep an eye on what is trending, use Bitly to shorten URLs. Sometimes people could not be bothered with long URLs. Keep tweets. If you're using Twitter, and there are 280 characters to maximize retweets. Retweet trending tweets. Understand hashtags. And this is important, proofread before posting. And post real content. Next slide, please. Using hashtags and tagging in your social media strategy. Hashtagging gives you a post for more exposure. When you hashtag a post, that post is grouped with all the other posts that have been hashtagged with the same words. For example, if you create a post and use hashtag Toastmasters or hashtag District 116, or your district, if you don't belong to District 116, or hashtag your club name, that post will group with all the other posts across the world that use hashtag Toastmasters or hashtags district so and so, or hashtag your club name. Think of it as a large digital filing system. When people are browsing that hashtag, they will see your post. So hashtags, whatever you can, hashtag. Tagging is completely different from hashtag. Different from hashtagging, tagging refers to using the social handle or using username of a person you post on photo. Can you hear me? Can you hear?
Yes, we can.
All right. Yeah. Can you hear me now? Thank
Yes.
you. All right. Different from hashtagging, tagging refers to using a social handle or username of person in your post or photo. When you tag people or things in a post or photo that you're posting, you are identifying them and essentially linking them in your post. To tag, simply type the @ symbol, then that person's name, and you can tag a friend if you want him or her to see your events or other posts, especially if he or she is a non-Toastmasters and you would like to invite them or see what you're posting. Next slide, please. How to engage with social audience. First, make social sharing icons prominent in your website. Put them all together. Statuses can be used to share something with your audience or to engage them. Statuses could be about upcoming events, tips for public speaking, and leadership. You could post statuses once or twice a week so your audience will be reminded of your clubs, but not too often that it annoys them, not 24/7. Also, to share photos of your events, or photos could show the members of your club. This means that your audience will see your club as a group of people. Another benefit of sharing photos on your social media channels is that they motivate the pictured members to share them by making them their profile picture or by posting them on their social media. This also shows that member social network what he or she does at your club. These can be used to give your audience some insight in your club and to make it look more real to them. Ask question. That will start a discussion. A good question encourages your audience to reply and share your message with their social network or question with answer choices. This could be used to ask which educational members would like to see or to choose a theme for a meeting. Questions are an effective means to involve members because it takes little effort, really, to click on an answer choice and help with the club's decision-making process. Share milestones to show a special occasion for your club, such as its first anniversary or distinguished club recognition. This is an effective means to show how good your club is doing or how well your club has done. Post trivia, quotes, thought, leadership. Be persistent. Sometimes we feel a bit lazy on posting or on our social media, but be persistent. Research members' preferences and discover current trends. Get to know your audience. That's important. Create engaging text, captivating images, and video content. Broadcast live. Design posts to sustain readers' curiosity and create buzz around events. Present an energetic and dynamic image for your club. Always have to be on the go. Leaders have to be passionate. Members should see it, that they are determined, they're passionate. Otherwise, members as well would kind of feel lazy. Create district vlogs, blogs to get more organic search traffic to your website and Facebook page. As part of our public relations campaign, District 116 PR team launched District TV Conversation to spotlight the members. Toastmasters members play a crucial role in your club's social media. They make your message stronger by sharing it with their own social networks and by adding their own success stories. Remember that a Toastmasters member in your club are your club, which means that their stories represent your club on social media. Social media are made for sharing. This means that members can easily share your club's messages or their stories about your club. If they share your club's messages on their social networks, that message reaches more users on that social network, which means more people know about your club's existence and what your club does. When your members share your club's messages, they endorse that message. It is an effective means of your members to help with your club's social media is to talk about the success stories. It's not just about the district, it's not just about the area, it's not just about, members are important too. They could share that they completed a speech or a project from their leadership track, or they could share photos of themselves giving a speech. The goal of Toastmasters Club is to develop the members' public speaking and leadership skills. When members share their progress on their social networks, they say that their club achieves its goals. They could also introduce prospective members through social media. If your club uses Facebook events, members can invite prospective members. Toastmasters members can also share upcoming meetings with their social networks themselves. By posting tweets about them or by sharing it on Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram, when they convince prospective members to go to a meeting and join a club, they contribute to that 1+1 campaign. A personalized invitation is the most effective. And a Facebook event or tweet sent to one prospective member may be the last encouragement he or she needs to join. Social media allow you to reach Toastmasters members and prospective members instantly. How people use social media is subject to change, not only because new features and new social media are constantly being introduced, but also because how people use social media to connect with each other changes. A good social media strategy should anticipate these changes to reach the audience with the best means possible. With social media, the audience, which includes Toastmasters members and prospective members, should be the focus. The audience plays a crucial role in a good social media strategy because it makes a social media strategy work. This all means that this social media strategy is also subject to change. Next, please. Now here comes the most challenging part, getting our materials brand compliant. Isn't that most challenging? Raise your hand if it is. Don't be shy. Now tell me, what are the benefits of using the Toastmasters branding standards? Please understand, it's not that we, the district public relations managers, we're trying to suppress or kill your creativity. Of course, we will try our best to find a way how you can express your creativity and at the same time be compliant to TI branding. We will have a series of creative poster design training for the coming weeks. You see, when you use these branding standards, the Toastmasters international branding becomes stronger. By communicating one consistent Toastmasters identity, the brand is more recognizable and accurately symbolizes the benefits of this great organization we are all proud to be part of. Now, let me show you this. Next, please. Zoom Master, please unmute all participants. Please which images do you think represents Toastmasters brand? Is it Group A or Group B? Group A versus Group B. Which one do you think represents Group A? Anyone else? So everyone is in agreement that it's Group A, or which one looks better? Which one do you think looks better? Anyone would like to comment? Please empower Corinne.
Another?
Am I being unmuted again? Okay. Now, anyone would like to make a comment about these images and photography? Let's all be part of this. Come on, don't be shy. We're all family. We're Toastmasters members. So please feel free to speak what you think about it. So if you like to choose being creative, and Corinne, I can't hear you. Am I being unmuted or what? You guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So no one would like to comment. Okay. Next picture, please. Next, please. Now, if we will allow everyone to express their creativity, it will look like this. We will never have that brand. It will be chaotic. Everyone would just create their own logo, use the color that they want and taglines that they like. You might think it's nice to express our creativity according to our theme, right? Right? Oh, our theme today is Superwoman or Super Mom or Winter or cartoons. So I would like to use the theme for me to express my creativity. So now here it is. You are looking at the theme posters where you're going to see everything based on everyone's creativity put together. So does that express the Toastmasters image, do you think? Do we have a brand by looking at these posters, by allowing everyone to express their creativity? You're all laughing, so it means that is that a yes, right? Sadly, we won't be as we aim to be the branded Toastmasters, as TA would like us to be. Next, please. Now, what do you think of this? Does that represent Toastmasters?
Yes.
Will you be happy to say that? Yeah. Will you be happy to see that in all your postings?
Definitely.
Clubs and districts that communicate a consistent, this is what we call consistency. Look, help increase understanding and global awareness of Toastmasters International, and can be beneficial in attracting and retaining members by clearly showing a connection with an international organization. All clubs have a responsibility to reinforce the brand through consistent application of club messaging and visual communications. When people see your poster right away, they know it's Toastmasters. When you say different creativity posters, can you really say that it's Toastmasters? Of course not. It would be easy for us to know that if we have our own brand, where we could compromise and everyone would follow. So if we remind you to be compliant, please understand that we are just trying to protect the Toastmasters brand. So please don't shoot the messenger. It's not that we're hating you to be creative. It's not that we don't want you to have your own logo. We already have the Toastmasters logo. We don't need any other logo or any other taglines, because if we do, it would be in conflict. We strongly advise that when in doubt, please feel free to send it to our brand specialist, Ilana. Sometimes they approve it within reason. If there's anything, that you'd like in terms of your logo or your poster, or you're having your anniversary, or please feel free to send it. I will be sending you all the information later on, the resources where you can send it. Use images of people that look engaged, approachable, and empowered. Incorporate images from Toastmasters related settings, club meetings, presentations, and speakers, networking, photos of conferences and training, speech contests. These images show your audience what your club does. If you be showing posters of a tiger, of a seed, of a flower, of a plant, of a mountain, it would not really talk much about your club, would it? If your club has photos of its meetings, you should use them. They make your club look more real to your audience before they ever go to a meeting. Next, please. Images not to use. Images that should never be used alongside the Toastmasters brand: animals, landscape, children, food and appliances. This includes toast and toasters, medicine, cartoons, architecture, other images or designs. Even no matter what your theme is, please avoid or not use at all this, because they won't do anything to Toastmasters. These images should not be used because they're not related to Toastmasters, as I've said, international. It's visual identity or public speaking and leadership. They give the impression that your club is not part of Toastmasters International. They're probably more part of Disneyland. So images and photography. The photography style should reflect the Toastmasters environment where people look engaged, as I've said, empowered and supported, as portrayed in meetings, presentations, speeches, networking venues, conferences, training venues, and speech content. Stay away from images that do not connect. Zoom Master, please unmute. Please mute them. Thank you. Please don't mute me because I'm the speaker. So, as I said, images that should never be used alongside the Toastmasters brand is animals, landscape, children. Am I unmuted again? So I said, do not use, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you. Please do not use cartoons, illustrations, or clip art in materials created for clubs, areas, divisions, districts, and regions. Always make sure you have permission to use and/or reproduce any images and pictures utilized in your design. Images protected by trademarks and copyrights should never be used. So make sure to choose the free copyrighted. I will also, on the end, I will also share with you a link where you could get copyrighted photos and any other important links that you can use in creating posters. Next, please. When creating a club or district video, please use these guidelines as a checklist. I know that a lot of us are creating videos, but not all of us are doing this or using this. Please have this checklist. The club name or district number should be placed before the logo to indicate which club or district created the video. Credits at the end should list the name, club, and district of the person, team that created the video. The copyright symbol, district number, or club name and year should also be displayed. Obtain written permission from every individual in the video. Don't just get it from anywhere. At least get their permission. Please use a separate video release form for each person. Unless if you know them, then of course it's not necessary. If they are within your club, and you just ask them during the meeting if it's okay for them to take the video or take the photos. The video must not infringe on the intellectual property, privacy, publicity right, ownership, or any other legal, moral rights of any third party and must be suitable for public viewing. Add the disclaimer below, as you can see there, to one of the first frames of the video. Whatever video we will create for the club, please add the disclaimer. Toastmasters International and all other Toastmasters International trademarks and copyrights are the sole property of Toastmasters International. This video is the opinion of the creator and is independent of Toastmasters International. It is not authorized by, endorsed by, sponsored by, affiliated with, or otherwise approved by Toastmasters International. Next, please. Resources. These are a number of resources that can be used to assist you in creating and maintaining social media channels according to the guidelines of Toastmasters International. I will post this presentation later on so that you will have it and you will see all these links as well. Public relations is where you can find everything that you need, which includes let the world know. Managing social media is a crucial part of public relations. Toastmasters International has a publicity and promotion handbook, Let the World Know, which explains how to craft an effective public relations program and offers proven methods of implementing it. Let the World Know can be downloaded for free, and I encourage you to download it as a BTV app and access it often. I've been a VPPR a couple of times. There's no way they've even checked the TI website because I thought I know it all. But there's a lot of things out there and I've only discovered that there's so much free stuff, that could teach you how you'll be able to do things better. Public relations, TI branding, all this is being provided by TI. Sometimes we just complain that, we wanted to express our creativity. This is what we want to do. But they're actually all these links, all these resources that being provided to us are actually, could enhance our skills if we just use them and we just check out on them. Brand portal. The brand portal offers resources to create a visual identity for your club and holds the elements you need to create exciting approved materials. You'll find the logo, word marketing resources, business cards even is included. Even sample letters are there, photo templates, stationery, and much, much more. Refer to the brand portal to review all that is available to you. Brand manual. Toastmasters International refreshed its brand just recently to create a more consistent brand experience. The brand manual can be downloaded for free too. Toastmasters International official social media groups and pages will help you to find popular and relevant content to share with the members of your club or on your social media. So if you run out of something to post about your club, check this out. If we are the VPPR or the PRM, and we we wonder, what can we post this time? There's a lot that you can find in the official social media groups and pages that you can share with them. Quotes, leadership, thoughts, everything is in there. And here, this is the royalty-free photos. The subject photographer or even camera, all free for personal commercial use. I've just added this, but this is not actually part of TI. But here, these are an additional photos, pictures of meetings of people. Anything, even in your personal use, not outside Toastmasters, you can also use this. There are thousands of images for free. Next, please. In doubt or have any questions, I have added the contact details here. I will also post these presentations, as I've mentioned. If you have any questions regarding this brand manual, the Toastmasters brand, or the development of materials, please contact the brand team or brand at toastmasters.org. If you have questions regarding the trademarks, here it is as well, where you can contact the trademarks. And so the same with the PR inquiries, brand inquiries, social media. Everything is in here. So please feel free to contact them, because we will be able to create a much, much better poster if we will just use them and ask them. We've got nothing to lose. We've got everything to gain. Before I continue, I would like to ask the our timer if I'm on time or.
Your overtime, Grace, kindly wrap
Oh,
up.
right.
Thank you.
All right. I'm sorry. Okay, then I'm gonna cut it now. There's a lot in here as well. Okay, I'm just gonna say this, that usually as public relations, not having enough skills, the right apps to carry the role as poster making and everything, we have all these challenges, but we could always find a way to get through it. I hope that this training helps you. Let's break all barriers and get to know each other more as district. Let's all work as a team. As I've said, teamwork is a dream work. If we work together, we will be more productive. So let's encourage members of your club or district to engage in all our social media. The more we create noise, the more people will know about us and more potential members for the district. For the next slide is as well, I have also included all questions and answers as well, which is coming from the brand specialist and with all the trainings that we have attended. So I've written it all here so that when in doubts or you have questions regarding in creating the posters and everything, so they are all here. And also, like, for you, no need for you to ask the questions because they are right here. So now back to the MC. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Grace, for that very informative session. And I understand how hard it must be for you to put everything together in just a matter of minutes. But definitely it is a very informative session. And I understand, I think it was a hard session as well to give, especially with my experience as a VPPR before. That's one thing that I would not understand during my term as VPPR in Philcom. It was so hard for me to follow the rules. So, rules are good, of course, for order, but sometimes it could be, of course, annoying. So what I would do is, I wanted to unleash my creativity. I wouldn't be able to have the whole freedom in unleashing my creativity in Toastmasters because definitely we have branding guidelines. So what I would do is I would make happy birthday posters for my friends. Okay? So thank you very much again, Grace. At this point, we will continue with our part 2 of our Toastmasters International Branding. And I know that some of you may have questions. Please do message CJ Rojas for your questions so that we can address that later. And our second speaker for our second session for tonight's training is an IT manager by profession. She works for Logicay Systems Middle East in the field of industrial automation in Hamad International Airport, Qatar. Born and brought up in Qatar, she joined Toastmasters in December 2018. Currently, she is serving as the Public Relations Manager of Division G, the Public Relations Manager of Area 15, and the Vice President of Public Relations of KEF Toastmasters. Let us all welcome Toastmaster Bindu Pillai.
Thank you, MC Dynami. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
PQD, Distinguished Toastmaster Mansoor Moideen, Club Growth Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Rajesh VC, District PRM Grace Moran, all present and past District Division Area officials, Distinguished Toastmaster Kajetan, our MC, Toastmaster Dynami, BPPRs of District 116, and all brand enthusiasts in the room. A very good evening to all of you. From an agenda perspective, I would be covering the TI branding, the TI brand platform, the logos and its variants, colors and fonts, images and photography, video guidelines, trademark request. What is a brand? Your brand is what people say about you when you are not in the room. Quoted by Jeff Bezos. A brand is not a set of logos or business cards. It's an experience. You are living what is being marketed. The brand is represented by everything we do and say, every single member, from communicating with prospective members to building new clubs to the materials used for district conference, club meetings, etc., etc. By communicating just one consistent look, tone, and message, people not only know what to expect, they expect what they know. Now, as you know, we have a brand manual, a lightweight, easy to follow one in our TI website. I'm sure all of you would have gone through it several times. So I'll just brush up through some part of it. Every brand manual has a brand platform on which it is developed, on which it is built. The very first platform is the tagline, where leaders are made. It simply conveys our mission that leaders are made here in Toastmasters by making people better communicators and teaching them leadership skills. So this is what exactly differentiates the TI from other skill building programs. The next is the brand promise. Now this was introduced in August 2015, empowering individuals through personal and professional development. This promise is the least expected tangible benefit members will receive from their experience. Core values. Our core values are integrity, respect for the individual, service to the member, and dedication to excellence. And these should be the anchor points of every single decision we make. Next comes the brand personality. The term brand personality, what does it mean? It describes how an organization interacts with the general public at every touch point, be it internal communication, be it external media, social media post, whatever may be. An organization's brand personality is universal. Adjustments should be made to reflect the culture, the language, the medium. The three words that describe the brand personality are leadership, dedication, and empowerment. Next, we move on to the voice and tone. What does it mean? Our voice and tone, it allows us to consistently reinforce our identity and connect with the current and prospective members. Appropriate word choice should be used to create relevant communications for our various audiences. Your communication should be warm, clear, friendly, professional, succinct, clearly expressed, respectful, universally understandable, internationally friendly. The new logo, maybe you're aware of it, it was introduced back in 2011, and it was an evolved version of the Toastmasters globe emblem. The logo did not show any continents, and instead it implied momentum through the rotating longitude and the latitude lines. TI mandates that the logo is an integral piece of visual identity and that it has to be applied correctly and consistently to accelerate engagement, raise the organization's credibility, and improve awareness for generations to come. So you understand, excuse me, is the Can you view the screen?
Yes, we can. But you're muted right now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, I just lost connection in between. I'm sorry. So I'm sure most of our VPPRs are aware of the branding terms and conditions. However, I'll just dash through for your information. The logo, you have the logo in full mark, black, white, and the Gavels Club logos in red, blue, and black. The word mark in full color, black and white. However, white is mentioned in the brand manual, but it is missing in the website. So I've just mentioned it as is. The logo lookups, you have logo lookups. What is a logo lookup? A logo with a text. Yeah. So logo lookups with website, tagline. You have the newly introduced since 1924 in navy and black. The same is with the word mark. The word mark also comes the same. You have Pathways logo in full color, black and white, which is all available in the website. Now, the clear space and minimum size rules ensure that the logo word mark is very clearly visible in the print and web applications. So please ensure that you leave the space of the text within the logo. Okay, just visually, just create a space around with the size of the text that you have, and then that's it. So you have a clear space around it. Please ensure that you don't bring any text or any image very close to the logo. And the minimum size is 72 pixels for web and 3/4 inches for print. For Pathways, you have 1 inch minimum for print. So next we move on to the do's and don'ts of the logos in particular. Now this is applicable to Wordmark, Pathways logos as well. So you make sure you don't elongate by the sides, you change the components within the logo or add something, add a text on top of it. Don't change the Toastmasters International wordings on it. Don't have the logo embedded on the background, should not be any other color apart from the TI colors. Don't change the colors within the logo. You're not allowed to do any of them. The last one, you can use the logo as a word mark. However, the same clear space requirements apply. Ensure that you don't use the text on top of the wordmark logo, right? And the do's are, you can have a logo with the district name, with the club name below it, as mentioned, right? You can have the word mark, you can have the logo lockup, whatever it is with the district, club, or any text below it. It doesn't matter, as long as it applies to Toastmasters International. Next, here comes the Pathways badges. Now it's all available for download. You can use it as required in your posters, flyers, newsletters, whatever it may be, our agenda for that reason. Next comes the official TI colors. Now the primary colors are just 3: True Maroon, Loyal Blue, Cool Gray. I have given the hex codes for all of them. The accent color is Happy Yellow. Now what does accent color mean? It means just to highlight. So it should not be the major part of the background. Just make note of it. You can alternatively use white as a background, which is acceptable, but refrain from using black as a total background, right? Okay, next. And the available formats, you have other color codes as available in RGB. There is red, green, blue format, in CMYK, which is cyan, magenta, yellow, black format, or even the Pantone system. And this is all for designers. For us, most of the tools support the hex code, and that is more than enough. So I've just displayed the hex code. Now these are the approved gradients. Now the officially approved gradient for Loyal Blue is as follows, which is mentioned here. You can have the top to bottom, bottom to top, left to right, right to left. So they have given a Loyal Blue and a digital Loyal Blue, which is approved, right? So this is the only approved as of now. They're working on other TI colors to send across. Now this is only what is approved. In addition, you may choose to use TI brand colors with white, although it is not encouraged. So I would say refrain. Next, these are some of the example flyers, sample flyers, which I have created for my club using the gradient. So I thought it's be best for you. So I've used here a left to right, here a top to bottom gradient, right? Next, let's move on to the fonts. Our primary typeface, our primary colors, primary font used for the heading and subheads is Gotham. And I know it's not available for download. In some cases, you are available. You can do a free download in some sites. But then you also have an alternate, which is Montserrat. And Montserrat you find almost in all the editing softwares, right? And these are specifically used for headlines, subheads. You can use it ultra, black, bold, medium, whatever options you have here, you can use the same font. Next, you have the Myriad Pro, which is a typeface only for the body copy. Now, Myriad Pro, again, you find it to download I've seen we can download, but then if you don't have, don't worry, you have a free alternate, which is Source Sans Pro, or even Arial for that matter. So in your newsletters, in your agenda, you can use Arial. That's not a problem, right? So, and make sure it is only used for the body copy. It is not for the headings. Next, we move on to the images and photography. And this is already covered by District PRM, so I will just have a quick brush through. Yeah. So as she has already mentioned, try to use photos where you look engaged, empowered presentation. You're doing a support, like a mentee mentor, a meeting, a speech contest, doesn't matter. Try to use these images. I do understand as a VPPR, I do understand how important, how creativity matters, but then still the theme, whatever may be the theme, it is not the theme that we are trying to impose on the flyer. We are trying to invite our guest with some positive features of Toastmasters. So these are the images that we are expecting you to use, right? And stay away from images that do not connect at all to the Toastmasters environment. Again, that is also covered by our PRM: landscapes, animals, children, food appliances, medicine, architecture, clip arts, cartoons. That being said, a Toastmaster standing under a tree or a flowery bush doesn't matter. You are a Toastmaster, so it's fine. So such things are okay, but just solely portraying only these are not allowed. Again, cartoons, illustrations, clip arts, these are very common in the flyers. Igniting possibilities. You find a fire clip art. No, it is not allowed. And the main point to be noted is that, and if you want to download any such branded images, you can just go to the Toastmasters at photoshelter.com/galleries. The URL is mentioned here. You can get these images, all these images. If not, you can also get some free pictures from pexels.com, pixabay.com. Also, if you want to remove the background, you can use remove.pg, or you can use PowerPoint for that matter. Some editing softwares are Pixlr for photos, and for video, you can use DaVinci Resolve. Sorry. Now, video guidelines are also being covered. It was already covered by our district PRM, but however, just for your information, the initial frames should have something like this. That is your logo with a club name, and the club details, doesn't matter. You should have a disclaimer in the first or the second page, some of the initial frames. And your last frame should have the video credits with the Toastmaster, who created it, and the club name. Also, you should have a copyright symbol with the club name or district as appropriate, and the month of the creation. And why is it so required? Because there are a lot of videos that is found in social media with no honor as such. And that is why it is very important to keep the district or the club it relates to and the month of its creation. You don't know when it is created. So it might have some content. And once your video is ready, let's say you're creating for some contest or something, and you are not using some meeting photos or anything like that, then please go ahead, create well in advance, submit a trademark use request. If you have any questions, send it to the brand at toastmasters.com, or they would either approve it or correct it. So we have done it many times in Division G as well. So we have sent it, we have got it not approved many a time. So we have been following it. So please go ahead. All of you can do, each one of you can do. You need not be a VPPR for it. You can be a normal member and still send messages to trademark and brand and get it confirmed if in doubt. And in general, the policy is this, the general thumb rule is, if in doubt, leave it out. So let's move on. The trademark request. Now, this is another thing which we need. We as Toastmasters should be committed to protect our brand, and hence should ensure that the materials that you create is not a threat to the TI intellectual property. As a general rule, all non-paper materials should require official authorization prior to production or purchase. Now, all cases, every single case is analyzed individually, and they normally respond in a day's time. At least my requests have been responded in days time. So please submit your request. It's just a form. It's available in the TI website. Just go fill it, attach the image, whatever you want to do, and then you get it approved. So trademark authorizations are valid, and main thing to follow is the trademark requests are only valid for the term it was approved for. For the next term, you have to renew the approval. Please make note of it. In case you're using any of such things which are not approved yet, please send a request, get it approved, and then inform your next VPPR that it needs to be renewed for every single term. Now, these are some of the authorized and non-authorized. There is a complete chart in the brand manual. If in doubt, please go and look, because we are heading up to the contest season. There are a lot of certificates being created. All these require trademark approvals. Please go ahead, create the design, send it across to trademark for the trademark request, get it approved. You have the validity so that when the district PRM asks for it, you can show it up. So whether it is a trophy, whether it's a ribbon, badge, whatever you want to use, an apparel, please go ahead, submit a trademark request. And when in doubt, please refer to the chart in the brand manual, and there you have the answer for it. Now I have some commonly used clarifications that have been raised over time. So here we go. Word marks, logos, and images, I've already covered it. You can use it. Only thing, follow the clear space around it. Do not have a text on top of it. So in case you have some documents such as that, please go and correct it as of now. Flags of countries. This is a very common request that I know, the very common question that I've seen. Can you use the flags of countries? Yes, you can use. Keep it very small, especially District 20. If you see Bahrain and Kuwait, it consists of Bahrain and Kuwait. And you see that very common in all their flyers that they keep the flags of Bahrain and Kuwait. Very small, visible, and at the bottom, which is approved. Corporate logos, it is approved that it is very clear in the brand manual. You can use it. Just have it. Just that you don't have it side by side with the TI logo. Just keep on opposite sides, opposite ends, top, bottom, doesn't matter. Corner, and doesn't matter. Let's just see that they are kept well apart. That's it. Taglines or themes by club, strict, no, no. Hopefully you understand. Black or yellow as background. This is again what I have covered. Black, strict no as background. Yellow can be used, but it is just for highlighting, should not be the major part of your background. So I've seen flyers of late that is like a major part, or let's say a 75% or 50-60% is yellow. Please don't use colors other than TI if logo is not used. This is a very common question. If TI logo is used, I can do anything. No, it is not right. You are doing something for your club, for your area, for your division, for your district. So it's you as a member, you are part of the Toastmasters International. Now you cannot, as a Toastmasters, whatever you are trying to portray, you cannot use any other colors. You're still caught under the branding. You have to be brand compliant. So even the TI colors are part of branding. So if you're using the TI colors, you're not using the TI logo, doesn't mean that you can use clip arts and cartoons on that. Please refrain from using it. These are all clarified with the brand specialist for that matter. Logos for area division contest. Again, the contest season is starting up. You have logos created. I'm aware of the Oryx Awards. I'm aware of the Orem Awards. I'm aware of the Bravura Awards, for all our divisions. And I have to say, I'm sorry, no logos are allowed for division area contest. So, and if you have already planned out your certificates, please go ahead for a trademark request, get it approved from the trademarks and brand. Moving on, meeting highlights video. Is a trademark request required? If it is a video, again, I'm just saying, if it is a video of just your meeting photos, TI colors, TI logo, then you don't have to go for a trademark user request, right? And if you are not just publicizing it, you're just keeping it on your social media account under your club name, you don't have to have all those video guidelines and everything like disclaimer, everything is not required, or the month, because you are putting it under your account, under your YouTube channel, under your social media FB account, right? So you don't really need to. So if it is just a meeting highlights video without any other colors, then you don't really have to go for a trademark use request. But if you are having creativity injected, please submit for the trademark use request and then get it approved. Brand compliancy for agenda, newsletters, etc. Yes, you have to follow the brand. And I am aware there's a lot of questions coming up that TI newsletters TI magazines don't follow at times. Yes, we are aware, but then yes, you have to. In general, the principle is you have to be compliant in terms of agenda, newsletters, etc. Word clouds. Now it's a standard. You commonly create word clouds. Word clouds are really allowed. You can see it in the brand manual as such. But word clouds in the form of a hat, of a Toastmaster with a hat, all those that is not allowed. A generic word cloud embedded into your flyers, newsletters, etc. No issues at all. Cake or cookies with the logo. And this is normally not seen in the Middle East, but in case you want to have a cake with the TI logo on it, it is okay. Just have the design ready, send it for the trademark request, get it approved, and then you can have it. And some bakeries do request that authorization as well. Raise and the old design elements. The design elements you have, I'll share with you the link to the design elements. Now, the design elements that are not in the website, please refrain from using from now on. Like all your new documents, please don't have, especially the raise. I see the raise being used again and again. It is not allowed. So here I have some sample flyers. You can all unmute. And can you just tell me what you think is wrong with this flyer? I would love to hear from many of you.
There's no area division or anything mentioned.
There's no
area division or nothing is mentioned.
Okay.
Also, the logo, the TI logo is actually, between the lines. In fact, it's
exactly correct.
The image is not right.
It's been
Image is not right. Anything else?
Font colors, fonts and colors.
Font color and the TI color not followed. There's where the guest is welcome, the color is different, right? Okay. What about this?
Clip arts are not allowed.
Clip arts not allowed. Very true.
Cartoons, then again, the logo is between, it's actually touching those lines. It should be.
Exactly. The logo is actually touching the border, and also the text is very close to it, right? Even the logo on top, if you see, it's a bit.
It has raised too.
Right. And even the towering speakers, the club name is very close to the logo. So these are things that you need to avoid. Anything about this?
Colors.
Totally not in line with the
Colors and fonts, very clear. This is one of the flyer which I created back in July, before the brand refresh for that matter. Now, there's nothing as such which is wrong. Everything looks okay, except for the yes, the red color. Exactly.
Red.
The red color is normal being used, right? Here, this is a very common flyer which you see for congratulating all members, right? What is wrong with this flyer?
Font.
Shadow.
Congratulations is not
Congratulations. So you see congratulations actually in all these kind of fonts which you should refrain from using, right? So here, these are your downloads. You have your logos and toastmasters.org/logos. You have your design elements here. You have your images. You have a whole lot of images that you can use. If you don't have your club photos, doesn't matter. Also, the free fonts can be downloaded from page 15 and 16 of the brand manual itself. So everything is there in your brand manual. Just go through it. If you need the presentation, I will share it off. I'll share it with District PRM.
ଭଲ ଭଲ
Can
କଣ
we have
ଲେଖିଛ?
others muted, please?
Quote କି ଭଲ words.
Now. Can the host mute others?
It's done.
You muted me as well. Okay. Now we have come to the end of my presentation. Now it's time to say a big thank you to District PRM Grace Moran for arranging such a training session for our VPPRs. We were very much looking forward to all of this. Special thanks to the leaders of District 116 who has directly or indirectly imparted the knowledge of the basics of branding to me. A special mention to distinguished Toastmaster Kajetan Barreto for spreading awareness on branding, providing an environment to discuss branding related best practices and queries. A toast to all our VPPRs in protecting our brand. Let us all work hand in hand to be the #1 district in the world in terms of branding as well. Back to you, MC, Madam Toastmaster Diana May.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Bindo. That was such a very illuminating session. And after your talk, Toastmaster Bindo, I developed an even greater respect and appreciation to all our VPPRs, to all our PR managers. It's such a very tedious job, and I couldn't imagine how I was able to to survive it. But truly, our VPPRs are very amazing individuals, having to follow such guidelines. And thank you for enlightening us with all the questions and the things, that the do's and don'ts for the branding. And without further ado, I would like to turn over the floor to our last but not the least speaker for tonight. Of course, we are done with all the branding guidelines, and it's now time for us to apply what we have learned theory-wise from our two fantastic ladies who gave us the guidelines for TI. Now it's time to get creative. I know some of us, this is one of our many questions. How do you do it? And what software, what platform are you using? And tonight, our special guest will show us how to do it. Okay, so I would like to introduce to you our very special guest for tonight. He is a certified trainer, a public speaker, behavioral assessor, and a passionate Toastmaster. He works as a general manager for Doe Information Systems, a software company based in Kuwait. He joined Toastmasters in August 2017, and in such a short period of time, he completed the following: competent communication, and then competent leadership, not just once or twice or thrice, but 4 times. He also completed his ALB and is a club sponsor, a club mentor, and finished, guess what? 4 paths in the Pathways education system. And currently, he is pursuing his path number 5. Wow. He served as the club president, VP Education Area Director, and is currently serving as the Division F Director for District 20, serving Kuwait and Bahrain. He achieved Distinguished Toastmaster status in just June 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters, he was also awarded the prestigious District Toastmaster of the Year for 2018-2019 during DTAC 2020. Without further ado, let me call on our speaker, Distinguished Toastmaster Kajetan Barreto.
Thank you for that very detailed introduction. And now, as you said, it's time to put things in practice. But before we do that, I think we need to have a stretch because we have learned quite a lot. And before we get our hands dirty, let's take a break of 5 seconds in 5, 4, 3, 2. And let me start. So my job today is to introduce you to how we can apply all that we have learned from DTM, Grace, and Bindu in practical terms. And before I do that, I would like to, by the way, as an introduction, I am running on multiple monitors. So if you see me looking like this, it doesn't mean I'm not paying attention to you. It just means I'm looking at what you are seeing on your screen. As mentioned, I'm Kajetan Barreto, and these are some of my Facebook and social media profiles. Few months ago, I started a YouTube channel called Tech for Toastmasters, and I have seen that it has helped quite a lot of people all over the world in understanding technology in the new normal that we are living today. So I will continue posting a lot of interesting content on my YouTube channel. For the session to be productive, I want interaction. Ideally in the form of chat. So if you don't understand anything, if you find something difficult and it is related to what I'm saying, please put it in the chat. I am monitoring it on my other monitor, so I will know what you all are saying. And as much as possible, I'm not using sharing screen. I'm using my screen itself. So use the speaker view and maximize the view so you can see everything that I'm showing you on the screen. And as usual, I always like to tell, keep attention around you, make sure that you are safe all the time. What I'm going to cover is the Canva introduction. What is Canva? How we can use it? I'm sure most of you are already using it. I will focus more on the editing part of it. What are the things you can do and create Toastmaster brand compliant content for your club, for your district area, whatever it might be. I'll touch upon videos in Canva because we have seen that it has a high impact these days where people want to see rather than just read posters. So we can easily convert a simple poster into a video content, and I'll show you how to do that. And as mentioned, there will be a Q&A session. With that, let me switch to my other view, which is the Canva. And I have two websites open on my screen here, the Canva website and the Toastmaster website. And why so? Because whatever I need to do or whatever I need to create content is found in my Toastmaster website. So this location, resources, and the brand portal should be your shortcut anytime you want any content, logos, photos, or any other specific information related to the brand manual. The brand manual also is available in the brand portal. And then we come to Canva. Now, Canva has become very popular with Toastmasters. And the reason is very simple. It's free. And in Toastmasters, we are a non-profit organization. We love free stuff. So you can create a very effective, whatever you have in mind, you can create it using the free version of Canva. There is a paid version, and Canva will keep reminding you, why don't you subscribe to the pro features? Why don't you do this? But I can tell you, unless you are an ad agency, and in Toastmasters we are not, you can create all the content that you need for Toastmasters using the free version. I am, however, using a paid version, not because I'm paying for it, but Canva has something called Canva for Nonprofit. So I applied for this and I was given the pro account free of cost, and that's what I use. But for my demo today, because I know all of you all will be using the free version, I have switched to my free account to show you how we can create all this content. So Canva is like Facebook. All of us use Facebook. Canva.com. That's all we need to do. Just come here and say canva.com and create an account with your email ID and password. That's all we need. And once you have that, you are now ready to create your designs. Now, in the chat, since we have learned today that we can only use certain colors, we can only use certain fonts. Let's start with colors. Do you all remember what Bindu mentioned about the colors? She made a nice slide of how many colors we can use for a Toastmaster content. Can you all post in the chat what are the colors that we can use? Loyal blue. Anybody knows the color code of Loyal blue, which Bindu had shown us? She had put a code. Anybody knows that? Of course, it's a very, it's a code that might be not easy to remember, but I just want to know who knows it. Of course, Shweta knows, Corinne knows. So some of you all know the color codes, which is very good. I am an old man. I find it very difficult to remember. Even if there are 3 or 4 colors, I find it difficult. So what I have is, I have created a small printout like this. Maybe you can see it clearly. And all I do is I have written all the color codes on this. So I keep it next to my computer. Anytime I want one of these colors, I will simply refer to them and say, okay, Loyal blue is 004165, cool gray is A9, B2, B1, and so forth. So this is very handy. I suggest all of you all use something like that. In fact, I created a PDF file with this color codes, so if you print it, it comes this size and you can print it and keep it. And similarly for the fonts, because we mentioned that there is Gotham, and in Canva, instead of Gotham, we would use Montserrat, and instead of Myriad Pro, we would use Source Sans Pro, and this is the use for it. So if we had to print these 2 small cards and keep them next to you, you are good to go. Right? Now coming to our Canva. Before I start showing you how to create the design, what I want to do is I want you all to have a look at this brand kit. And this will help us to quickly remember or recollect the codes of the colors. And if I click on the brand kit in Canva, what it does is, first of all, brand kit is a feature that is more of a pro feature. That means you have to subscribe for it, but it does allow me to store up to 3 colors in the free version. And how convenient for us, because in TI, we have the 3 main colors, which is the cool gray. So what I will do is I will add, using the plus sign here, the first color. And this is where I can type the code. So I can say, I want A9, B2, B1. This is the code of our gray, cool gray. So I have my first color. I'll add the second color, and that is, let's say, true maroon, which is 772432. See how useful this is? I always find it. Of course, once I create the brand kit, I don't need it, but I'm showing it to you because for you all to use it for your quick reference. And the third color I can use is, let's say, the Loyal blue, which is 004165. So I have my 3 primary colors of Toastmasters stored in the brand kit. So anytime I want these colors, I don't have to type the codes anymore. However, unfortunately, if I try to add the happy yellow, it will say, oh, why don't you subscribe and pay me something? So what I do is I try to memorize the happy yellow. So anytime I want to use the happy yellow, I will memorize it, but the other 3 colors I don't have to memorize, which is, for my age, that's good enough. The other 2 colors, of course, is the black and white, and those codes are very easy. I mean, black is nothing but 000000. That's black, and white is F 6 times. I will show it to you. So now that I have created my brand palette, the foundation of my creating content for Toastmasters, let's go and create something. So here we have a big button in purple which says create a design. And when you're creating a design, you have to pay attention to what you are creating, because as a PRM DTM Grace has said, you would like to post on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube, whatever the channel might be. But you might remember, or you might notice that each of these channels have their own restrictions on how the content will look. If you are posting on Instagram, you might have noticed that the size of your design should be square in shape. Have you all noticed that? Facebook prefers more of a something between, not actually a video format, but they like something which is more wider on the horizontal side rather than on the vertical side. And if you're posting on YouTube, then the ratio is 16:9, which is the HD resolution. So each platform has their own requirements to show your content as well as possible. And of course, if you are creating a newsletter or a flyer, which is A4 in size, then you will use A4 size. So when you're creating this content, you have to decide how where your poster will go. So we have this different dimensions available for us: Instagram, presentation, video. And when I click on, or when I hover on Instagram, though you might not be able to see it clearly, it says 1080 into 1080. That's a square shape, both horizontal and verticals, both same size. Okay. If I say video, it will show me that it's 1920 into 1080. And those of you who are into HD and 4K TVs at home, you know, this is the HD resolution, the full HD as they call it. 1920 is the size which is vertical, horizontally, and 1080, that's the vertical resolution, the number of lines that you get. So that's the video resolution. So decide what is it that you're creating. You're creating for YouTube, you're creating for Facebook, you're creating to print on an A4 size paper. So the dimensions become very important. If in doubt, you want to create your own size, you can of course go for custom size. And you can say, I want it this wide and this height, and you can define those dimensions yourself. Let's go for an Instagram post, something that we are all used to. And if I click on the Instagram post, it will give me a shape that is let me make myself a little smaller because I want you all to see not me, but the content better. So I will make myself very small. That should be fine. So this shape, as you can see, has now become a square shape. And this is where we can start putting content inside. Let me zoom it a little bit. That's too much. Okay, this should be fine. So we have a square shape in front of us and we want to create some content in it. Toastmaster branded content. And how do we go about it? The first thing I want to show you is the background itself. So it is currently white. And as Bindu said, you can very much go ahead and create a poster with a white background. That's fine. And but if I click on this arrow here, this color wheel, which is here, the background color, the first thing I want you to notice this 3 colors. Remember, I had created the brand palette. So if I wanted it to be gray or maroon or blue, I don't have to remember those colors because I have created them as a palette. It's always there in front of me. Okay. Of course, if I wanted it as yellow, but of course, Bindu will not want me to be the background to be yellow because yellow, remember, is an accent color, right? So you can use any one of these three colors or white. Okay, but if I wanted just for the sake of it to make it yellow, then I can click on this background color, and instead of, because the color is not available, I can type the code, which is F2DF74, and it will bring up that exact precise color for me, and it will become yellow. Okay, but we are not going to do that because we are not supposed to use yellow as a background. So let's go back to white or one of these three colors. Now that we know how we can have the background, let's see what are the other things we can place on this canvas that we are creating. Let's be artistic. And on the left-hand side, you can see that we can put different photos that you can download and put on the poster. As mentioned, Canva comes with millions of free photos. So if you have something in mind, let's say I want to put a photo of a meeting. Instead of downloading from the Toastmaster website, I just want to put it. I can search for meeting and it will give me plenty of photos. You can take your decision. Are they brand compliant? Do they show the spirit of Toastmasters in terms of empowered, networking, engaging? And if you find something like this, which looks okay, you can then use that photo from the photo gallery available within Canva. Ideally, number one choice for me, of course, is to have photos of your meetings. So if you wanted to do that, you will come to uploads, and whatever photo you have, you can upload the media using this button. And these are all the photos that I had uploaded, right? So this was, for example, one photo I have. Let me remove this. Okay, there are children here. Let's ignore that, though it was from DTAC. Photo of one of the members. You can use it. So I, as a photographer, always love to take photos of meetings, and then those, in my opinion, are the best photos to be used in your poster. So all you have to do is click on the upload media, wherever it is there on your PC, upload it. So just click on the upload media button, and you can upload from your device, which is your computer or your Facebook, Google Drive, anywhere. Let me just give you an example of loading from a device. And let's say I have photos on my PC and Toastmasters, area contest. And we can give photos of contests, so I can upload that photo. And here it comes. Let me remove this one, which is already here. And once it finishes uploading, I can just click on it and I have my photo. So photos is your primary visuals. So you can upload your own photos. You can use photos from the library which is available in Canva. Or, of course, you can go to Toastmaster websites, which was the resources given to us. And if you go to the brand portal, and we have this professional images, click, and it will take you to the photo shelter. There are quite a number of images here, maybe a few hundred. So you just click through them, find out what is it that you want. For example, there is a 2019 update of a couple of them. And if you like any of these photos, these are all authorized photos. You are free to use them in your Toastmaster content creation. Click on it. and you should see an arrow at the bottom which says download, and you can download the original file, which is the high resolution image, or you can download low resolution if you don't need a high resolution image, for example, medium, and click download. Takes a few seconds and it will come on your computer. And once you have stored that image, let me put it on the desktop. So I have the image on my desktop now. So all I have to do now is go back to my Canva. And go to uploads. Upload the media, choose device, choose desktop, and this is the image that I have just downloaded from the Toastmaster website. Click open. And because I did not load a high resolution image, it will also download faster. So that's good. And let me remove this one and replace it with this image. So you can see now how easy it is to get photos that are relevant for our use, either from the Canva library, from Toastmaster website, or your own photos that you have created or share or receive from your club or your district. Once you have your photo, the next thing, of course, you want to use is a logo in your poster. And we have been told that we have to use the logo as is. I have already downloaded the logo previously, but if you wanted to do it, you'll do the same thing. Go to Toastmaster website, go to the brand portal, find the logo, download it on your PC, and then bring it into Canva. And click on it. And here's your logo. You can move it around. You can resize it. Will this be okay, you think, keeping the logo here? Anybody? Acceptable or no? No, I can see a PRM manager saying, no. You need to keep it somewhere where there is breathing space around the logo. So nothing is there around the logo. So we will do that. We will respect our PRM manager. We don't want her annoyed. Next, so we have photo, we have a logo. The next thing we want to do is you have something called elements. And elements is the one which really allows you to be creative and use all of the design elements that are available in Canva, starting with shapes. So we have a lot of shapes available here. We have a lot of frames. And frames is, I'll come to frames, but shapes is what really allows you to create content that looks attractive. So for example, if I take a circle shape, and remember the shape doesn't have to be on the canvas. You can have the shape placed on the canvas that it only shows you part of the shape. So you can create interesting designs by using these different shapes and either displaying all the shape or a part of the shape. And then, of course, using the branded colors. So if I want to change the color of the shape, I click on it, then use the button color. And remember, the 3 colors are very easily accessible to us because the brand palette is there. As simple as that. If I wanted a happy yellow, obviously I will type the code, as I told you. So you can use shapes and play around with that. Then the other element I would like to highlight is something called the frame. And the frame is nothing but a placeholder to put a photo. So let me remove the photo that I have already placed on the canvas and let me put a frame. So when you place a frame, what is the impact of a frame is that any photos that you now place, for example, the same photo that I had, if I now put it inside the frame, it will be bounded by the frame. Okay. So you can use any of the frames that are available to you. There are quite a different types of frames. Okay. And this is another way to become creative in your design. So we have frames, we have shapes. Shapes, we can color them to any of the branded colors, and frames are more for placing your photo. Then we come to text. Now, text is very simple in Canva because, or at least when it comes to Toastmasters, because as we know, we have only 2 fonts to use. So all we have to do is select one of the text, let's say heading, and place it. Again, we can resize it. You can move it around. And type your text. Let's say move it like this. And now comes the font. Because it's a heading, can somebody tell me what font I should be using for this in the chat, so I can select the right font and don't make any mistakes?
Montserrat, Gotham, Montserrat.
Montserrat, you think so? So there is a toss-up between Gotham from Fritz and Montserrat.
Gotham.
Because it's a heading, I said. Yeah, because it's a heading, the font that I should be using, of course, is Gotham, but Gotham is not available in Canva. If I try to search using the font here, I will not get, and I can type, by the way, the font name, Gotham, not there. We couldn't find any results for Gotham because Gotham is actually a very expensive font. I think it costs several hundred, if not thousands of dollars to buy the font. And it's used by ad agencies. It's a very beautiful font, by the way. There are free versions, but if you want the real Gotham, you have to pay for it. But because of that, because Toastmasters knows that we cannot afford to pay, clubs cannot afford to pay so much money. So they have given us the Montserrat font. These are the various Montserrat options available. You can use any one of them. If you want bold and if you want semi-bold. So extra bold, for example, if I use. Now, this is the correct. Yeah. So this is the font, Montserrat. And anything else that I want to show on this poster has to be the other font, which is, which one? Let's say I want to put something here at the bottom. What font should I use for this? In the chat, please.
Or sample or Arial.
Yeah. Actually, Arial was something that was allowed before, and I don't think there is any. Arial is more of what we call a safe font when you are doing something in Word or something like that, and you want to share it with other people. So that's where we can normally use Arial. But the font that I should be using is, again, I can type it here, Source Sans Pro.
Mac Pro. Mac Pro. Myriad Pro.
Source Sans Pro.
Source Sans Pro.
Yeah, Myriad Pro is, again, as I said, the official font for body text is Myriad Pro. And again, Myriad Pro is a very expensive font. You have to pay for it. There are free versions available, but they're not the original. So we prefer to use, as per the branding guidelines in the brand manual, the Source Sans Pro. Okay. So we have now a poster where we can use shapes, we can use frames, we can use pictures, logo, and the fonts of specific type. That is, the heading is Montserrat, and the body of the text is Source Sans Pro. And now this is from the technical side of it. When it comes to design, now it is up to you how you start playing around with these objects. Put the object, make sure the colors are compliant, and then mix and match. Okay. So for example, let's say I want to put another object here. Instead of frames, let me put one more shape. Okay. And this shape, again, the color is one of the brand colors. And how do we play around with these objects now? So for example, I have two shapes here. I have a circle shape, part of a circle. I have another one, which is part of a triangle. And now we come to editing them. So for example, if I want the blue to go behind, so I can click on this button here, which says position, and I say move it backwards. So now the other shape comes in front. Okay. Or if I want it to be brought forward, I will click position and forward, and the image, the shape will come in front. And you can apply this logic to anything. So for example, if you have a photo and you want the photo to go behind, so I click photo, I click position, and I can move backwards like this. Right? So the position allows us to move objects in the front to the back. The other next thing I would like to highlight to you is when you click on any of the objects. So for example, if I click on the text object, on top, you will see the properties changing. That means for the text, I can change the font, I can change the size, I can change the color, I can make it bold, italic, and the alignment, whether I want it in the center, I want it left or right, and so forth. If I click on a shape, then the elements or the properties change. I can change the transparency, I can change the position, I can lock it, and so forth. So every object that you click on top, it will keep changing because the properties of each object are different. For example, if I have a photo, I get an option called crop, which you won't get if I click on a shape, because shape you cannot crop, you can just move it around. But if you have a photo, I click on the photo, I get an option to crop it. And what do I mean by crop? I can make it, drag it like this. So that it fits properly within the frame. And click done. So the crop allows you to move the photo, you can resize the photo, and so forth. Okay. Now that you have seen how we can put all these elements using Canva in a very simple way, in 5 minutes, you can start creating a poster. The last thing I would like to show you is how we can make the same poster into a video. Okay. So now on the left-hand side, as you can see, we have finished text, and now we have music, and videos. And this is what allows you to create a static content into dynamic content. Okay. So far, what you are seeing here is a poster. I can download it as a photo, as a PNG file, as a JPG file. But notice what happens if I click and put music. So it will give me an option to select one of the music available in Canva. And some of it is free, some of you have to pay for it. But let's say I drag this music. And notice now on top, it has changed. When I click download, it no longer says JPG file. It suggests that I can download it as a video. All right. And if you play it, it will show you that it will be a video of 5 seconds. I can change that by increasing the time from 5 to, let's say, 10 seconds, and it will create a 10-second video. The other way I can make this into a video is by using this option called animate. And what does the animate option do? It allows you to animate all the objects that you have placed on your canvas and create an animation. So for example, if I use Rise, it creates an animation for me as a video. I can choose a different animation. I can choose fade animation. I can use block animation. And there are some animations that you have to pay for it, the ones which are marked as yellow here. So if you have a pro account, you can use this. But if you have a free account, you are free to use any of these animations. And it can then download it as a video file for you. Of course, creating a video file in Canva would require a little more than just animating one frame, because as Bindu said, when you create a video, there are certain requirements in Toastmasters for videos. And one of them is to have a disclaimer on one slide, then some content, then another content, and finally credits. And if you want to do something like that, all we have to do is we can do that by creating multiple pages. So if you see at the bottom on top here, there is a plus sign. So what we can do is we can add multiple pages. So the first page can be, let's say, your disclaimer. The second page can be your content, the third page, and so forth. And then you have a nice video with a few clicks of a button in Canva. You don't need any advanced video editing skills. You can do it all within Canva, all for free. So click plus, it will create a blank page. And if I want to move the page, let's say I want this as to be a disclaimer page, but it's the second page. If I want to move it on top, I can just click this button, move up. So that becomes the first page. Okay, and then this becomes the second page. And let's say I want this to be a disclaimer. Where will I get the disclaimer from? From the brand manual. I have the brand manual open here. And if I go down, I will have video guidelines. And I can simply copy the disclaimer from the PDF file, Control C, and come to my Canva on this one. And I can say text, place, let's say, the text, make sure that the font is Open Sans Pro. Source Sans Pro, sorry, not Open Source Sans Pro. And in this, paste it. Oh, change the font size, let's say to 16. Okay. Change the background of my my slide to blue, let's say, change the color. Now, one thing you should notice is when you're placing text over any color, make sure that there is contrast. So if you're using dark colors like blue, then use the font color as, let's say, white or yellow, could be. And yeah, so this is very easily how we can move. You can have the beginning of the video. You will put obviously the club name, area name, and whatever. Then you will have your next slide. You can have 4 or 5 slides like this, and then have one slide which is basically your credits at the bottom. And then when you play it, it will start. I'm not sure whether you can hear the music also. I'm sure you can hear some. So there you have it. Like, very easily we can create content that allows us to, using a free version, within a few minutes, put all the things together, follow the brand guidelines, download stuff from Toastmasters, include it in a design, and create either a poster or a video. And since I see yellow, and I know that we were already running a little late on time, I can keep talking and showing a lot of things. But I think this is to give you an idea for you to open up your browser, go to canva.com and start playing around, and you will get it. Have the brand manual ready next to you. Have this color codes, either print them or write them down and keep it next to you. Keep the brand portal open in one of the tabs, and you are ready to create your next beautiful design that will promote Toastmasters, encourage people to join us, and grow our organization. Over to you. MC, back to you.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Kajetan. That was such a fantastic session. I'm sure that everyone learned a lot. Even for me, I'm using Canva as well. I'm a great Canva enthusiast, and there are things that you have discussed that I didn't know, and I've only heard for the first time tonight. So thank you so much for such a fantastic session. And I'm sure, of course, our audience have questions and clarifications. And I think it's now time for us to proceed to our Q&A portion, which will be facilitated by a Qatar Talks 2019 champion, a DTAC 2020 winner in the international speech, and just 2 days ago, he debuted as a TED Talk speaker. Fellow Toastmasters, let me turn over the floor to Toastmasters CJ Rojas.
Thank you so much, Thank you so much, Toastmaster Diana, for that grandiose introduction. Fellow Toastmasters, and to all the valiant VPPRs around the world. In order for us to further our understanding and to maximize our learning opportunity for tonight's meeting, for tonight's training, if I may say, let us go on to our question and answer portion. So since we have an influx of questions for tonight, we are only limiting our questions to only 4. So let's keep the ball rolling and let's begin with question number 1. How can we create posters using virtual meeting photos and avoiding to create posters that are boring and not looking similar? Again, let me just rephrase it. How can we avoid making posters using virtual meeting pictures that are not boring and looking similar? So this question can be answered by any of our resource persons. Anyone?
I will answer that. it is not a must that you should use the virtual meeting photos. You can use your old club meeting photos. That is one. Second, if you don't have quality photos from the old club meetings, then go ahead, as shown earlier, go to Toastmasters website, download those images as DTM Kachetan has shown you. You can use those. It's not necessary that you have to use those online meeting photos. Just have it maybe once in 2 months or once in 3 months, and then go for, use any of these pictures. That will give, that's it. Back to you.
Okay.
I have been
so
doing
much,
the same.
Toastmaster
I'm a BPPR and I've been doing the same. Yeah.
Thank you for that. Now for our second question, now I have to share my screen. Just a minute. Can the host enable me to share my screen, please?
Yes, you can share the screen now.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I cannot share it, unfortunately, I'm sorry. But the question is, in April 2020 cover of Toastmasters International magazine, they have used an illustration of a speaker standing on stage. Is this image as per the guidelines? Does the cover image violates the guidelines? Please explain. Again, in April 2020 cover of Toastmasters International magazine, they have used an illustration of a speaker standing on stage. Is this image as per the guidelines? Does the cover image violate the guidelines? Please explain.
Can I answer that question?
Yes, please.
Your turn to answer it all.
So there is this thing about what is a violation, because at the end of the day, it has been mentioned, by the way, by DTM Grace, I think, that there is nothing called violation. It is the spirit of the design. As non-professionals, we can't be expected to have all the knowledge, right? So when you do create something which is not really in the brand manual, your best approach is to discuss it or write it to the branding team. They will review it in the perspective of what message does it convey. So when they approve it, then it becomes allowed for you, right? So you can have illustrations for very specific use, where like how they use in the Toastmaster magazine. But we can't do it on our own. We can create it if we believe that it will give the right message, and then send it to brand, and they will approve it or reject it. And then you go by that.
Thank you, DTM Kachetan. Now moving on to our question number 3. Apart from Canva, what are other applications VPPRs can utilize in designing a Toastmaster branded poster material? Again, apart from Canva, what are other applications VPPRs can utilize in designing a Toastmaster branded poster material?
I will answer that. Basically, you can use any editing softwares, photo editing softwares that you need, as long as you can, include all these TI colors, TI logos. You can upload, you can use it. You can use any specific thing. You don't have to use Canva. It is just that it is, let's say, it is used worldwide. Many are using it, so and it is very user friendly. As DTM Kachetan has already shown you, it is very user-friendly. That's how I have gone even to the extent of creating an entire newsletter from scratch in Canva. So you have PowerPoint, you can use any softwares that you have available on your or any online editing softwares, doesn't matter. You can go for anything you want.
Okay, thank you. Now moving on to our fourth and last question for tonight's training. Themes are not allowed for our meeting flyers. Are themes permitted for district conferences? Please clarify. Again, themes are not allowed for our meeting flyers. Are themes permitted for district conferences? Please clarify.
When I will answer that. When you say themes are not allowed for meeting flyers, I didn't quite understand that, because every meeting goes with a theme generally in Toastmasters, and we do show up the theme which is mentioned there, except that you're not getting creative on the theme. You are basically showing what is essential for the Toastmasters. You know, what are you trying to portray about Toastmasters and how you are trying to attract the guest, right? Now, when it comes to district conferences, it is correct. You can have a theme, you can have a logo of your own. The only difference is, and you can use any colors. Okay, that is the only time, the one time in a year that you can let out all your frustrations, go ahead, have any colors that you want. It's just that when you're using the TI logo with it, you don't have to use it. It's not a mandate. Again, if you're using the TI logo with it, make sure it is well isolated. You have kept it very much apart, and then you have the other. And also, second thing, once you design, get it approved from brand, from Toastmasters International Brand Specialist. So this is very much important. Once you get it approved, you can use it any colors, doesn't matter, yellow, red, pink. This is why in many of the Toastmasters magazines, I have seen the comments related to that, where you say that why green is used, why pink is used, it's not an approved color, you know, but if you see, the content is related to the annual conference of TI 2020, right? So yes, you, again, it says, now I'll conclude saying that for district, it is allowed. Only thing you need to get, once you get the logo approved, the new design approved and the colors approved, and that's it, you can use it, but not for the club level or area or division or anything for that matter. Back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Toastmaster Bindu. Now we have reached the conclusion of our question and answer portion. We would like to extend our sincerest gratitude to all our resource persons for tonight, to Toastmaster Grace Moran, our Public Relations Manager of District 116, to Toastmaster Bindu, and to DTM Kajetan Barreto. Now I am handing over the control to our MC, Toastmaster Diana.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster CJ. I hope that all of your questions have been answered and all of your doubts have been clarified. So at this moment, I will now turn over the floor to our District PR Manager, DTM Grace.
Thank you so much, Diana. We're going to give the certificate, right, Diana? You want to go ahead with that?
Okay, all right. So at this point, Zoom Masters, Retha, just confirming that we're ready. At this point, we would like to give our utmost appreciation and gratitude for our guest speaker for gracing us for tonight's training and for sharing with us his expertise on this field of public relations. District 116, the whole of District 116, thanks distinguished Toastmaster Kajetan Barreto for being our valued guest speaker for tonight. Once again, thank you so much, DTM Kajetan, for being with us tonight. You have been such a helpful instrument for all of us, not only the VPPRs, but all of us Toastmasters who are wanting to excel in the field of public relations. And of course, thank you to our spectacular ladies who gave us clarification and shed the light in regards to our Toastmasters International branding and guidelines. So let me now turn over again the floor for some feedback to be facilitated by our District PR Manager, distinguished Toastmaster Grace.
Thank you once again, Diana. And I'd like to thank you, everyone, for coming out here tonight and for joining us. For those questions and remained unanswered, I hope there are, CJ, do we have the names with them? And we can also post them, or I
Yes,
could
they
send
can
it
message.
out to the BPPR group for whoever those people, if they are not from District 116, District 117, 997 or somewhere, then I will send it to them. But we will make sure that we will answer it all for you guys. How many questions did you have tonight, CJ?
We have 4 questions,
All
but
right.
these questions are basically the ones related to the training topic.
All
Others
right.
are personal questions.
Okay, thank you so much. We would just want to ask for your feedbacks for us to improve our training session. We will have a series actually of training for our VPPR and Division PRM as well. And this is open for everyone. You guys can come and join once again. So we would like to hear from you. Please unmute them. Zoom Master, can you please and I've also posted the presentation. And Bindu, would you like to as well to post your presentation so that
I just did, Grace. I just did.
you just did. Okay. So here we have both our presentation from Bindu Pillai and from myself as well. So hopefully, you know, that would also help you. So please give us your feedback. Can we hear from Didi Venus of District 97?
Good evening, everyone from Thailand, from District 97. Thank you so much, District Public Relations Manager, Distinguished Toastmaster Grace, and to all the PR team of District 116. So here we are, District 97, always asking for help and asking for support from District 116, and we're so happy to have received this training. I've seen that many of our club VPPRs joined. Unfortunately, many can't stay because it's already 11:20. But some of our division PRM requested for the video, the recorded video. And thank you so much for this opportunity to learn from District 116.
Thank you so much, District Director of District 97 for that. Anyone else would like to make a comment? Can we ask Toastmaster Sunny? Sunny?
Yeah, good evening. Good evening. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot. I thoroughly enjoyed the session. It is very informative, especially the last module. It was wonderful. We got a lot of information from that. Thank you. Thanks to all organizers to organize and conduct such a wonderful section. Thank you. Thank you once again.
Welcome. Toastmaster Arpit from Oryx Communication. Good to see you here.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. Thanks a lot to you, to Bindu, for organizing this training. It is definitely an important part to be able to create compliant content. We always struggle and definitely always aim as well. And I would like to thank Bindu especially because generally when I create content, I am sending it over to her and she quickly responds. And it has been a very effortless correction so far for all the content that we have created here. Thank you for bringing up such an amazing trainer today with the distinguished Toastmaster Sajanto, and it was a pleasure to be here, and we have so much to take from this session today. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Our area director, Kumaran. Now you have a lot of
Thank
places.
you. I should really appreciate the District 116 for taking up this opportunity and making sure the VPPRs are aware of what they should do and not to do. I really appreciate the trainer who introduced Canvas to us. He made it really simple and easy, and thank you very much. And I look forward for more trainings from the district to come forward in the next times. Thank you.
Anyone else would like to say something? Is Shalini there? TM Shalini?
Yes, TM Grace, I'm here. Yeah, it was a wonderful session for a budding VPPR team member like me. It is really useful, and I get to know what to do and what not to do. Thank you so much for the session.
Yeah. Francis from PSMEQ. Are you still there, Francis? All right, I guess Francis is already. So once again, I'm like, sorry, we're running late. I know that some people would still want to attend two important meetings of District 116. But once again, thank you so much, DTM Kajitan. Is it Kajitan? You know, I always call you Kajitan. And is it, how do you pronounce your name? Is it Kajitan?
I asked him the same question, Grace.
Sorry.
I thought it's pronounced as Cajitan. It's like in Spanish, right? Or it's like, no, but he said Cajitan.
Kajitan. Is he being muted or?
He's not responding.
All right. Are you, is this there? Or maybe
I think he pronounces it as Kajitan.
Yeah,
J is pronounced. Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So DTM Kajitan, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Oh, I think she's probably left because it's probably that's his picture. So thank you everyone for joining us, and hope you know that you will join us again on the next training series. So thank you so much, and good night to everyone.
Oh, thank you, Grace. But oops. Before you leave, we have not taken an official photo yet. So somehow it's good because you only have 25 people left. It will be such an ease for us because it's only one page. So can we request everyone please to open their cameras?
Everyone,
don't be shy. We're only 24 people left here. So these are the only people that will be seen on the district's post. Hi, Kim. Are you still there? Toastmaster Pradeep. Okay, let me just hide the non-video participants. So if you want to be included in our
we should have done it earlier.
Turn on your video.
God.
Okay, all right. So flash your biggest smile in 1, 2, 3. Okay, hold on right there. Let me just paste it. Where is the... And now let's do a walkie pose. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right. Okay, that's it. My job is done.
You got everything now that you need.
Yes. Thanks to everyone.
Thank you, District PR team.
Thank you so much.
Bye. Good night.
Thank you, Trainers. Thank you, DTM. Thank you, Bindusule. Thank you, thanks a lot.
Thank you, Venus. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Rachel.
Thanks, Grace. Thanks, Diana.
Good night.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Leo.
Good night.